up there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this relaunch of the Rocci Stucci Show. Let's go. You know, I'm not going to tell a lie here. Well, I'll probably tell a few anyways, but I was telling Lisa before we started, I said I'm a little nervous, man. I felt like I've never done this before. I didn't even do a sound check. I don't even care if my sound's good. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on, Josh? Yeah, no sound checks. I just kind of did what the things that I already know what to do, and everything looked good. You know, so I'm like, let's go. I was going to do a sound check last night, but that means I would have to sit here and then mess around with online stuff, and I just wasn't in the mood. You know, you just ever find yourself just not in the mood, you know? Let me get this screen off here. I don't know what's going on with this screen. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got to do the stop screen sharing stuff there. I don't know what it's doing. So anyways, folks, I hope you are all doing well. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about, really, what's going on in the world. If you guys can hear me okay, just give me a thumbs up just to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. I am broadcasting right now on the Rocci Stucci private page and Stucci Media Facebook page and YouTube, and then I'll just repackage it and send it out everywhere else when it's done. My one screen over here is, what is it doing, man? I don't know what it's doing. I just can't get it off my screen, and it's bugging me. So anyways, yeah, so this is the first edition, and you know, here's the funny thing. Before we get into, you know, all the stupid stuff. Oh, what was that? I didn't know I could do that. Oh, so it's something with my mouse? I was doing that scrolly thingy with the thing, and my picture's getting bigger, and I don't know how to minimize my picture, though. Oh, yes, I do. I just did. I'm so proud of myself. I just figured it out while I'm live. You know, it's weird because when I first...
Raise your right. Well, it's me.
You tell I'm a little rusty. When I first went down to Texas, you know, I thought I was ready, man. You know, life is weird, and boy, it's kicked my ass. I'm not gonna lie about that. Oh, let me check. Everything's good. Holly gave me a thumbs up. Sound is fine. Josh says. You know, you think that you always think you're ready at any given time for anything. You know, it's our ego, it's our narcissism, it's the false reality of social media where it creates this bravery. You know, and then you always have the cheerleaders that will make you jump off a cliff that they won't jump off with you. They just wait to see if you land, and they'll meet you at the bottom. You know what I mean? But holy shit, man. I don't even know. And today isn't for that, and none of this is really for that. This here is going to be a morning broadcast where we're going to have a little bit of fun. We'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on and, you know, maybe get angry every once in a while. But, you know, I want to be, and I've said this for a long time since I've done radio, I want to do something to where I actually improve lives. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that's throwing fuel to the fire and claim I'm doing something, you know, and pounding my chest, you know, because I'm not. I'm not doing anything by just pissing everybody off by regurgitating the same bullshit that everybody's going to hear all day. You know what I'm saying? I want to be just that guy that everybody knows that you can just be you. You can just show up. You can be as crazy and as stupid as you want. Well, you know, to a limit. And it don't matter. You know, it's this whole world is stupid, right? It's a world of complacency. It's a world of do as I say, not as I do. It's a world where there's too many policies, and we are ruled by corporations, literally ruled by corporations. So it seems like when we walk out of our homes these days, we have to change the way we look. We have to change the way we act for some reason. We have to watch what, because language is very difficult to keep up on. It changes all the time in regards to what's offensive, what's not offensive, what's going to be offensive, and, you know, some potentials, you know. So the second people walk out their door, they conform. They conform to this perception of freedom that doesn't exist. They conform to this illusion of normalcy that we go into this world of civility where there's people doing good, honorable things. And really what we go into is a mess. That's what it is. It's a bunch of people pretending to be normal, a bunch of people that have crazy chaos going inside their damn head, trying to figure their shit out every single day, all under the illusion that just make sure you get to work. you know, because that is the pursuit of happiness, is making sure your bills are paid. That's the pursuit of happiness. You know, so you kind of see the world for what it is, and then you actually, you know, you can shed some of those layers of the onion, and you're like, wow, this shit really sucks. You know, I mean, I've pounded my chest for a long time, you know, I mean, saying that we're the freest country in the world, but really, I mean, technically, when you really start thinking about shit, we're probably nowhere in the top 10. I mean, shit. Go, here's an example. There was a guy who lived, I think it was in St. Cloud, Minnesota, who had a little, one of those wind turbine thingy. What's up, Mary? And he was told that he had to get rid of it because he was producing minimal power, but he was producing power for his house. You know, I mean, I don't understand what the difference between that and what a solar panel is, but, and it wasn't big. It wasn't a nuisance. It wasn't like it was 95 feet in the air and, you know, planes could hit the shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just a little windmill that was producing probably enough for a couple outlets. And they were going to send him to prison. And so they ordered him to take it down. And so he took it down, but then they were going to send him to prison again because of the fact he didn't remove the concrete slab. So, you know, when we say the definition of freedom, well, go produce your own electricity once. And, you know, go live off the land. Just go pick a spot of land somewhere and say, this is mine. This is where I'm going to sleep. And see how that works out for you. You know, I don't know. African tribes can go eat each other, man. They can be cannibals and they're still walking in the jungle. They're doing just fine. They can eat whatever they want. They can fish whatever they want. They don't need permission from anybody. That's pretty fucking free. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking free if you ask me. That's freedom. Do whatever you want. No rules, right? You kind of maintain your own people, keep shit under control. But when you see things for what they really are, you know, it's a shock. Because, you know, it's like, wow, there's a lot of people that preach Jesus that are really stupid and hypocritical. You know, they couldn't even remotely practice the same integrity they preach. Not even remotely practice it. And that's the part that bothers me the most about the world that we live in, is that there's so many people that have an opinion about what you do, but 95% of them never could ever walk in your path, could ever do what you did or go what you went through. And I think that's one of the greatest lessons is that because the last 4 years, I think that the greatest thing is that I was told half my life to come out of this one style of lifestyle, right? You know, bad people because they don't comply. And so we as a society, we label these people as bad people, criminals, bad people, you know, because they wear leather jackets and or maybe, you know, they got bandanas hanging out their pocket because they live differently. So they're bad people. They're not following the rules. So, you know, you listen. You're like, holy shit, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. And I created trauma and emotional trauma for a lot of people, and I'm a piece of shit. So now I need to repent, and now I need to spend the next 10 years of my life apologizing to everybody and transform my ideological views into yours. Got it. All right. That sounds good. All right. So we do that. So we start changing our ideological views. We're like, okay, maybe I should come to a complete stop for this stop sign. You know, maybe I shouldn't think everything is a conspiracy. You know, maybe I shouldn't think all politicians suck. Right. Maybe I shouldn't think that we're overtaxed. Maybe that's just radical shit. You know, maybe I'm a radical. Right. So let me listen and let me try to figure this shit out. And so you do that. So you start, you know, you get educated. You know, you're doing all the things that, you know, that you're told is the pursuit of happiness, right? And then so you start living this lifestyle, and then you go into this lifestyle to realize that it's like, well, what changes? What changes? Okay, because the people don't change. Just the clothes they wear really changes. That's the only thing that really changes. Actually, there's more vindictive behavior in the suit world, in the corporatocracy world. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I was up until like 8 months ago, I was an employee. I was the manager at Lockheed Martin. And it's like, holy shit. These are the people that are writing policies. The shit I've seen at that company, are you kidding me? the craziest thing is when you go to the HR meetings that you got to do once a month, and the same people that are the most vicious pieces of shit are the same people that are hosting the meetings on integrity, on leadership, on making sure we show empathy towards the people. These are the same people that are preaching this in front of their superiors. And then the second the superiors walk out, they're complete freaking, what the hell just happened changes, right? Like they become different people. And I question myself all the time, how do people live like that? You mean, you're telling me that all these years, all these people go through this big change because we're told to, because we're told this is where the normal people play, right? This is where life is. This is where happiness is. This is where freedom is. So you do it and you go into a world where it's people wearing multiple faces with fake awards. You know, everything is fake. Everything is manufactured. It's so stupid. It's just like we become different people depending on who's sitting in front of us because we're always looking for that financial gain, financial security, because we want to make sure that we're posting our pictures of our vacations and posting pictures of our cars and our success because that is our security. Our security is what people see, not what we feel. It's what people see. That's not saying that's right? Because I'm guilty of shit. And when you realize that you're guilty, that's one of the most painful, damn ass experiences you can go through. When you realize you spent most of your life doing things to please other people, just to hear those words, I'm proud of you, or good job. I promise you that most of you will get to that point, and when you actually hear those words, you've gone through so much bullshit to get to those words that they don't mean anything. They just don't mean anything. And then what you realize is that your entire life, you've been chasing that childhood gratitude. And then when you get it, you don't feel it, and then you're lost as an individual because you have no idea who you are. And then you try to go through this unindoctrination of what you were indoctrinated to and trying to find your identity through that process, and then it's like, holy shit. This world is stupid, full of people that are chameleons. That's why I don't play well with people that preach Jesus because, man, I've known some pretty significant people. You know what I'm saying? That preach a lot of Jesus. And they really suck. They really suck. And it's just like, do they forget that people know them? How could they live one lifestyle and then 5 minutes later go on a stage and talk their shit while they're getting an award that they never earned and talking about Jesus' path and integrity and being such a good person? This is what I do. This is the way I live my life. It's how my heart beats. And then the second they get off stage and put that little award on the table, they become this other monster. And it's just like, well, technically, no, you're being a human. You're being a human. You're just manufacturing and using Jesus as a marketing tool. That's all. I don't like people that use Jesus as a marketing tool. So anyways, so this is why there's been this thing. It's like, I was supposed to start radio a while back, and I wanted to do it, and I don't know when ready is, because, man, I got my ass kicked. Spiritually and emotionally and physically, and well, not physically, but and there's so many different stories and adventures that have happened within an 8-month period. I don't know when a good time was to get this going again. I just know that I ain't going to stop. I'm not going to stop. So we take those lessons of life and we bring it here. We bring it here and we share it. And I just want to welcome anybody here, man. Man, I don't give a shit what you've done, man. If your strive in life is to be better than what you were yesterday, man, welcome. I don't give a shit what people think of you. I don't care what people whisper about you, because most people that do that won't say it to your face, right? We want people to know that it's okay to be you. That's all. It's okay to be you. And why do I say that? Let me go back to how I started this. When I said that when people walk out of their home, their identity changes. So with all that, what I just said in the last 15 minutes, circle all the way back. And when you walk out of that house, it's okay to be you. You know, it's okay to be pissed off at situations, you know. We don't always have to play that namaste bullshit, right? That, oh, it's God's plan bullshit, right? No, sometimes things just suck. And sometimes we can call it out for that. Sometimes people suck. And sometimes we can call it out for that, right? Sometimes I'm pissed and I don't need to pretend I'm not. I don't need to play this little fake ass little bullshit world that most people live in, man. That oh, no, it's all about perception. I'm not worried about gigs, right? I'm not worried about contracts. I'm not worried about corporate sponsors. I'm not worried about that bullshit game, because that bullshit game is what destroys people. That's what destroys people, is the ideological transformation you have to make to be successful. Fuck you and that bullshit. I'll show you success without any of that shit. I'll make sure that I will purposely go out of my way to wear wrinkly shirts on this program. Sometimes I won't even take a shower and I won't shave. How's that sound? Comfortable for you? I will do everything opposite of what this industry standard says you have to do. And I'll smoke your ass doing it. Why do I say it like that? Because I've seen good people lose everything from these vindictive pieces of shit. And we'll get into this stuff in the future. Not today. And probably not for this show. Because there's 2 more shows that are going to be getting announced that are going to be happening as well with me, that are going to be during the week. So all that is coming up. Anyways, mypillow.com. Get there. Get your asses over to mypillow.com. I was supposed to have a commercial for this. I had plans, man. It was all going to be really like down cut commercials coming in. No, no, because then I got to sit there and think about when I'm doing all that, looking at the clock. Mike Lindell, mypillow.com. They've been a great supporter of me for years. Met Mike a long time ago. Here, I'll tell you something why I like Mike Lindell. It's nothing to do with politics. I can love the hell out of somebody that thinks completely different than me. Mike Lindell, he's a recovering crack addict. And only people that really have been through that are recovering addicts in one form or the other, really understand and really look at somebody like that to where, what he's built. The empire is built with pillows and blank. Everybody's like, well, I don't like this. Well, go do what he did then. Go do it better. You want to tell me how much you don't like somebody's product because you don't like an individual? Well, get off your sorry Cheeto-eating ass and go do it better. Otherwise, shut up. Here's a guy who's a homeless fucking crackhead. Anybody know what it takes to get off crack? Anybody know what it takes to get off meth or fentanyl? Right? Anybody? Because if you did, you'd really be like, wow, that's a big deal. Oh, he's wiry. Oh, that's part of the behavior pattern, man. This guy's half his brain cells are gone. But somehow he's maintained to recover the ones that had some intelligence to be able to start a damn well multi-million-dollar company. And it's like everybody wants a bitch about him, can't do half of what he's did. Do it better or shut up. That's it. Just do it better. I'm sick of the It's just like, okay, well, if you think the quarterback for your favorite football team sucks, well, go start working out and try out for the team. Because then maybe you'll have a little bit more appreciation of what they have to go through on that field to get that shit done. All right, let's go. Thomas Becker. Joshua says, hey, Thomas. Thomas has been around with me for, Thomas, since everything but normal. Like, dude, almost the beginning. Probably the beginning. There's my boy Luther right there. He says, take it easy, my bro. Love him, man. Dude, I actually got to have you on, brother. We got to get you on here and talk about some of the stuff. Here, when I see people, going above and beyond, people that are helping athletes, I made a comment on his post the other day because he works with some local universities working on athletes, getting them up in the professional level. And, it takes a certain kind of character, a certain kind of person to do that, right? And that don't come for free. You don't go out of your way to help other people, like really help, not talk about it, but really do it without understanding some kind of pain. Because, when I manage people, I would always tell people when I was in these meetings with them, I says, if you could see what I see in you, and I meant that sincerely to these people, if you could see what I see in you, their potential is endless. And look at crackheads, right? Look at crackheads and look at these meth heads, these heroin addicts. Some of these heroin addicts have to come up with $100 a day to supply a $100 a day habit. And somehow their asses do it. However they have to do it, get pissed, right? We just had our whole life stolen. We just had our whole life stolen, probably because some drug addict, right? They needed to hook up. But they're intelligent enough to wake up every single day to get out on that street and do whatever they got to do to get that fix. And it's just like, damn, if you actually put that into the real world, you will realize those recovering drug addicts would outwork people because the real world would be easy to them. Only having to get up to worry about shit for 8 hours to these people ain't shit because 24 hours of their life is not getting sick. That's their whole life is making sure they don't get sick. And they don't get sick by not running out of dope. Joshua says that it's a bitch, been there, and don't want to be on my worst end. Don't want it. Oh, wait, what are you talking about, Josh? There was something that I was talking about, and you referenced it. Mary said, after 13 years of public school indoctrination, they expect us to be obedient sheep. Break for you. Well, and so when I think, Mary, we might have talked about this. We're at the bottom of the hour here, coming up to the bottom of the hour. First episode, the Rocci Stucci Show. This is kind of just like a formal, just kind of getting the show going, man. It's nothing was really even planned. You guys know, you have to know me, right? I don't know in a week if I ever even have show notes, really. I just open up a computer of the things I kind of want to talk about, and that's what we do. It's natural. I think the one thing that's always made this show what it is, even though it's ADHD like a son of a bitch, it's that it's a conversation, man. I don't know anything. I don't know shit. I don't know anything. I thought I did. I thought I understood shit, man. I don't know. I don't understand anything. All I know is that the only thing I can worry about is that son of a bitch I see in the mirror, and that son of a bitch pisses me off a lot too. Oh yeah, it's talking about the drugs. Addiction is horrible. It's in all forms. We shouldn't judge. Yeah, that's another thing too, man. The homeless people. There's a lot of them here in Florida. Obviously, in Texas, obviously, right? Weather. But, I was homeless before. And like that. Not meaning like homeless, I'm in a hotel room with my family. It was the real homeless. And I even said to Lisa, it was a couple of weeks ago, we're driving by this guy, because I can gauge a homeless person. I can gauge why they're homeless, almost. I'm pretty good at it, really. You can look at somebody and you can look at their eyes and know that, man, they seen some shit. And life got them. And then you see the other people that they're just some young-ass punks that just resisted and rebelled, and they didn't want to go to school, and they want to follow the rules, and this is how they ended up, and they had to figure shit out. Chances are within a couple of years, they'll have a cool story that they'll go around and share with everybody how they clean their life up. But it's those ones, man, you see it in their eyes. There's just something different there. And the humiliation that they bear every single day. When I go through financial struggles, I'll sit and crawl myself in a room because, you work so hard. And let's carry over. Let's get into business here. You work so hard, right? I know most of the people that follow me, man, they struggle. We're regular people. We're not pretending to be anything else. We're not pretending to be this glam damn thing. We're just people trying to make it through a day. That's it. Literally, that's where I'm at right now, right? We're just people trying to make it through a day. What was I saying? The ADHD of talk radio, the Rocci Stucci Show. Come on. Can't I remember where I was? See, that's why, co-host stuff is really good. Because they can be like, oh, this is what you're talking about. I know I was talking about the drug addiction. We're talking about Josh, and we're just regular people just trying to make it through a day. I don't even know. Don't even care. Oh, yeah, about losing everything. So, we go to our jobs. And let me ask everybody a question. It's like, if you lost your source of income today, how long could you live? How long could you live? A week? Another paycheck? Maybe 2 paychecks? Maybe a month? Right? When you watch all these people all over the country right now, and maybe this punched me a little bit more because recently of what happened to us, we literally, our whole life has been stolen, right? And I don't know which one is worse. Going to a storage unit to see all your shit thrown around and disrespected, pissed on, right? Stolen. Your life. That what was left in that box, that little storage, was our whole existence, right? And you'll have to look at it like that. That feeling, man, I won't even say it. I won't even say it. I won't even get into conversations about that publicly or in any kind of forum about my feelings in regards to this shit. And so that's still fresh, right? And then there's these, mysterious fires that just mysteriously, that are mysterious. Oh, hey, by the way, weird as shit. There hasn't been no spraying for at least 3 or 4 days. There hasn't been no spraying for at least 3 or 4 days. Really weird how planes decide, to spray condensation that turns into clouds and how they don't. It's interesting. And we're going to get into some of these things in future episodes, man, because I'm kind of sick and tired of this Hollywood fakery bullshit in our lives, constantly being tormented and manipulated. And we're finding information out about this fog now. It's real shit, man. All of it. It's all real shit. And we'll all realize that most of what we were taught was never true. I don't even know what's truth anymore. I got a message. I just want to see. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So when you go through something fresh like that, everybody's had things stolen from them, right? Even if it was your vehicle. And my dad used to say things all the time. He's like, well, because he would leave his keys in the car. He's like, if they really needed it that bad, then they could take it. Well, they took it, Dad, and you were pissed. So you went all these years talking shit that, if they need it, they can take. Well, they took it. And you wanted to smash their face, right? Yeah, we're not as namaste as we want to pretend to be. You know what I'm saying? So we can be pissed. We can stop this fake ass bullshit game so we can post shit on social media and have everybody be like, oh, look at me, Jesus. And then we know you're the monsters behind the scenes. It's okay to be a monster every once in a while. I'm a monster all the time. And I'll be a monster for any person that's vulnerable that needs help. I don't give a shit. Well, let me shut that off. Sorry. I wasn't prepared for stupid ass notification sounds. Oh, Facebook. I hate Facebook. When you look at the faces of these families now, all over Los Angeles, from this natural, mysterious fire, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. We're talking thousands upon thousands, right? And I got so pissed off. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Laura Ingraham. It was the other blonde dumbass host. And I hope somebody sends this to her because I was so pissed off. You remember the days when there was tragedy in the United States? Do you remember the days when there was a tragedy in the United States and this country unified? We weren't just this big mixed bag of shit. Pieces of shit because, your God is different or because I want to cut a penis off a little kid. Now we create compartments. We're the United States of compartments. That's what we are. So depending on your emotional status, your emotional level, and your lack of intelligence, even though you have paper that says you're supposed to be smart, is all dependent on what compartment we want to go into. But there used to be a time when tragedy struck, Americans united. We just did. That's what made us, to me, right? That's what restored my pride all the time. That's what kept my faith. Like we always say that, oh, wow, there is faith in humanity. We see a video of somebody doing something nice. We're like, whew, shit, whew, they do exist. Man, I was getting a little worried, because, if TikTok becomes our reality and Facebook and YouTube become our reality, we are fucked. We are fucked because We just see fake shit all day long and videos that we think is funny that accommodates our stress. Not doing anything for us. And I watch them. I love my monkey videos. Don't judge my monkeys. It's probably racist these days, isn't it? The United States of compartments. But yet, when there's tragedy now, what do we do? What do we do when there's tragedy? We're still fucking burning. We're still fucking burning, right? We're still burning. We got other countries now finally showing up, which is really cool to see, but we're still burning. Shit's still spreading. Some get contained. We have arsons going out there spreading shit. You know what's really weird? Is if all the sleeper cells decided to go active all at the same time while we're under a blizzard, while we're under hurricanes, while we're under a fucking it's a whirlwind of fire that's burning one of our biggest cities in our country down. Probably has a lot of evidence that's going up in smoke too. Imagine during all these different crises, the Middle East, you know, the United States, Kansas area, they're under a sheet of ice. You have the East Coast who's flooded underwater. The South, of Florida, we got 2 hurricanes and a freaking tropical storm in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And now we got fires that are out of control and they're being aggravated by antagonists. Global warming, right? That's it. Let's say that. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. We gotta pay to stop this global warming. That's how crazy stupid we are. And how do we know that we're not already under attack? How do we know that what we're witnessing right now is a form of warfare? Because what did we say years ago? Becker, what did we say years ago with John Ward and Scotty when we used to be on the Situation Room? We used to say that they are creating this weaponized weather modification system. They're not seeding clouds. I don't care what anybody says. They can sell that they're seeding clouds all they want. If they seeded clouds, they would be seeding clouds right now over California, over Los Angeles, and making that shit rain. If they wanted that fire to truly stop, and they actually could seed those clouds to produce rain, like they did in Vietnam, then they would have been doing that already. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. So how do we not know we're already under some form of warfare? We've got these damn ass orbs. Now, this research in regards to this mysterious fog, well, they're finding stuff that has to do with communication and imagery. It's like, what planet am I on? Again, I just need to know that. But again, let me go back to this whole united thing. Remember, like during 9/11, I think we united for like 14 days. If my calculation is correct, I think it was about 14 days. We all kind of gave group hugs, maybe 9. You know what I'm saying? Liberty says, "Hey, you, it's crazy," and I totally agree. Couldn't agree with me. But yeah, so what do we do? Megan, no, not Megan. Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly. Is it Megan Kelly? I know it was stupid, right? But and I guess maybe I'm just mad at the stupid. But right away we start attacking people. Right away we want to just say, whose fault is it? Right away we want to say, oh, look at, he's not even wearing a real jacket. Well, technically he was, right? That jacket that CNN reporter was wearing, that Megan was making fun of, that's what they use for grass fires. That's the style jacket they use for grass fires. It's a thinner-based, water-retardant jacket. That's it, for grass fires. You don't need to have all your PPE on when you're out there fighting a grass fire. But she was so worried about him using clothespins behind the jacket so it wouldn't be the big and bulky. And it's like, wow, okay. So we're up to 20-some deaths. I got the information here. People are dying. A major city in the United States is under fire. We have fucking aliens flying through these clouds, or whatever they are, China or Lockheed or whoever the fuck it is. The Middle East, I keep saying the Middle East. The Middle East, Kansas, Missouri, all these states are literally a sheet of ice at the same time. At the same time. While we saw families, hundreds of them, that are still homeless right now in North Carolina from that bullshit, right? And she's worried about clothespins on the back of somebody's jacket. She's worried about clothespins, right? As a producer guy, as somebody who works both ends of the camera, let me tell you something. My job is to make people look good. If I'm working as a producer or on site doing like a live remote, I'm going to look for fucking boogers. I'm going to look for eye boogers. I'm going to look for nose hairs. I'm going to look for shit in your teeth. I'm going to make sure that your presentation attire is professional and ready to go. And if it looks stupid, we're going to fix it. And so is she. Because she spends 2 fucking hours every morning putting shit on her face to alter the way she looks for the camera. But yet she spent, and if you go watch it, this is what it pissed me off, because when she was doing this broadcast, she was saying it with conviction. She was so utterly disgusted at this piece of shit because he's not even wearing a real fireman's jacket. And he used clothespins to alter his jacket. Really? That's media. That is your mainstream. That is your mainstream media throwing fucking fuel on the fucking fire. And I got to aspire to be like that? Shit. I don't care about clothespins on the back of somebody's jacket. I care that people are getting information, evacuation information. I care that we're making sure that there's enough helicopters and planes there to do any kind of aerosol or air attack that we could do on this fire to stop it. Maybe we can stop all being a bunch of pieces of shit and maybe all kind of come together and say, okay, I live here and you live here. What are some things we could do? It's not what your country can do for you. Remember that? But what you can do. Do we live by that anymore? Does that even exist? Weather warfare. Sue, hey, I'm telling you, I said this shit for years, and I don't even care. And you know what's really going to piss people off? What's really going to piss people off is that Alex Jones, literally, will go down in history for being one of the most accurate conspiracy analysts and truth tellers in the history of radio thus far. I'm telling you that right now. Everybody's shaking their head thinking I'm whacked out. Tell me how many stories he's been actually wrong on. I know the one you're saying, but I'll even have a conversation about that. And I've never even gone down that road in regards to that one story. All I do know is that I had like 2 questions that never got answered. I wanted those answers. But there's not much you can say that he's been wrong on. So anyway, so now we're looking at thousands of families, right? We're already dealing with all these families in North Carolina, South Carolina from all those floods. And then we go to, God, this is just unbelievable. I'm looking at some of this footage here from these fires. And it is just absolute mind-blowing. Let me just make sure the volume is down on this. I don't want that on. So yeah, we'll show some of it here real quick. Strangers in the night. I don't know which one I'm looking at here. This one right here. There we go. Yeah, this is wild, man. So while we're looking at stuff like this, we have reporters. We have reporters that are going out right now, and they're worried about what people are wearing. They're worried about clothes. But do you understand my point? And you understand why that kind of shit irritates the hell out of me? And this is my reference when I say, do you remember the days when we used to unite? Now, these dudes right here, these guys flying the helicopters, the guys flying those airplanes, those tanker planes, you got to be kidding me. I have been sitting and watching those videos nonstop because I think they are some of the most amazing, courageous, unsung heroes that this planet has seen in a very long time. Now, you look at that, and you look at that, and you look at the fire trucks showing up, and you look at those ground firefighters that are showing up, man. They're walking, they're hoofing up into those mountains to go fight this blaze. And if anybody's ever been in any kind of blaze, man, you couldn't get within 100 feet of some of these without feeling like your soul's on fire. You know what I mean? And these guys are getting it done selfishly, man, without hesitation. And there's still people that are driving there right now. There's still people. This is the stuff I watch. When somebody asks me, what does it mean to me to be an American? What do I think is that level of pride is what makes me so grateful for this country, right? Because it sure as fuck isn't a politician. Not one of them. Not one of them. It's this. It's this. And maybe this is why there's a part of me that is still a little bit, maybe I'm not angry. Maybe I'm more heartbroken. Maybe when I'm seeing these national TV personalities creating fucking drama during a catastrophic event in our country, in our land, that bothers me because we focus on what we get pissed off on. We focus on it. So now everybody's talking about a guy with wearing a jacket with safety pins or clothespins, right? When they should be talking about this. They should be talking about that man standing right there, the firefighter, that is helping a guy carry out a couple heirlooms. Or the thousands of families that are coming back to their houses. You know what I'm saying? The thousands of families coming back to their homes to look at everything that they worked for is gone. And then that's why I asked the question. I says, what's harder? Is it harder to go to a storage unit or to go see your things stolen and destroyed, with things being poured on it and pissed on? Is that harder? Or is it harder to go look at a home? Because they both suck, right? I mean, they're both equally terrible. But I think it would be easier if my shit was burnt. Honestly. I think it would be easier for me to accept the loss with my shit just being caught up in a terrible natural event or unnatural event, however you want to look at it, compared to knowing some piece of shit, thug-ass, punk-ass, went through all your private things and just kind of shopped through your stuff and found what he thought was valuable and what he thought wasn't. Well, everything was valuable to me, especially when you have nothing, right? Especially when you have nothing. And so I'll go back to when I sit here and I look at these pictures and I get pissed off at the bullshit drama. Let's just stop for a minute and let's go back and let's start paying attention to these families that are showing back up at their houses and looking at nothing but a pile of ash. Yeah, I'll go through the conspiracies with you. Absolutely. But I just want to make sure through this entire process, that we don't forget those people, because I think we already as a nation forgotten Hawaii. And I think as a nation, we've forgotten North Carolina. As a nation, we forgot the J6ers. As a nation, we get really mad for a few days about things and then move on. Because we got work. We got shit to do. We're busy. You know what I'm saying? We're busy. But we fail over and over and over again, and we accept their failure as, it's part of the... No, we're failing these people. We're hearing these tragedies. I lost my job I was a manager at Lockheed Martin, man. And because I got sick, the system, it was the system. And it's so hard. And sorry, ladies, when I reference being a man, I can't be you, right? So I can only speak from me. I'm not going to pretend I can be you. But as a man, when you get that taken away from you like that, it's easier to accept things if you were a piece of shit and you just, made some bad moves. Okay. All right. I fucked up. Move on. But when the system that preaches that integrity, the system that we pay for to give private companies the authority to put you on the streets because they want to save the corporation money, I think, folks, we got a big problem in our country. I think we have a huge problem in our country in the fact that we allow private companies to have that type of power over somebody, especially when they get vulnerably sick. And then you ended up, I still need another surgery. Nobody's even heard me talk about me being sick because survival has been so extreme for me. Never even heard me complain about that much. I do a little bit. I get pissed off, right? But I don't sit here and post that, on Christmas, we didn't do any presents and my youngest son had to buy dinner. Anybody even know that? No. Because that's our life right now. It's a circumstance of what we're dealing with. And I get pissed, man. I isolate myself. I do. I'm not going to pretend I'm some miraculous shit. I'm not going to listen to anybody's advice. Because I react and I handle things differently. And I get pissed. And I literally will go bury myself away. And I was something because I need to process shit, man, because trust me, you need me to process. Some of you should really know that and pay real good attention to those words. When a man needs to process, you better let him process. You know what I'm saying? So now we got to watch all these other families go through this. And they're going to go through so many different emotions. And I just want all of you to know that, you know, when you're pissed, be pissed. Don't play this fake shit. Don't be like, well, we're going to be okay. You know, optimism is good because you know what? There is no other choice. There is no other choice. You're going to be okay. You don't have any other option. So we'll all agree upon that right now, right? You're going to be okay. But it's okay to be human. It's okay to expose, because I guarantee you, most people that don't talk about things are living the exact same thing you do. They're just too ashamed or embarrassed. They're same struggles as you have. The same struggles as you have, like we feel. And then I think what people are afraid of is that it becomes a weapon for vulnerable people. There's a lot of people that use their circumstances as a weapon for attention. And so there's a fine mixed bag of shit right there that you got to sit there and dissect through. And I'm not referring to this long-winded boo-hoo, I'm a victim bullshit. I'm referring to that when you're dealing with some shit, it's okay to say fuck off. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say, you know what, you're a piece of shit. Your company sucks. And I'm not going to pretend that, oh, you know what, it's going to get better. No. You know what? I think the problem with our world right now is that we shut our mouth too much. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem with the world is that we become that, if we have something to say, we're going to go on to Facebook and scream into this little compartment of regurgitated thoughts, and that little compartment just goes down the garbage disposal at the end of every day. It goes nowhere. Nobody's listening, but you feel like you're doing something. You need to bark where it's heard. If you truly want change, you need to bark where it's heard. That's all. So here we go. Here we go, watching the families. And I have no idea, man. I question if we're even going to make it to the election sometimes. I question that. I question if we're going to make it to the election sometimes. And all I want is this peace, man. Seriously, I don't even give a shit about this left-right bullshit anymore, because it really isn't even real. You know, it really isn't even real. It's just all that whole bread and circus bullshit, because they're all jerking their little Cheeto dicks behind the scenes. And I don't even know if optimism is in my vocabulary right now when it comes to the future of this country. And yeah, okay, let me do that. Yeah, we can take shit, right? Okay, cool. We took a lot of shit. So everybody pounding your little fucking chest, being like, no, man, America. You know what? Go look at your taxes. Go look at how much a year you pay in taxes. You know, go look at the laws of the land. That's how many thousands of pages. You know, yeah, you took shit. A lot of it. We all did. Because we all sold a bunch of Kool-Aid. And while they were pulling all this bullshit, what were we doing? We were fighting over who's going to take a shit in what bathroom. That's how smart we are. We're talking about cutting the dick off a little boy. And we're talking about, you know, depending on how you feel, science says that that's legit. So if you feel like this, then you can be that. I'm done with all that too. All of it. So, yeah, okay, so a little introductory show. I'll be more organized tomorrow. You know, this is going to be an hour show, Monday through Friday. There's going to be two other shows announced. They're going to be really good. I don't want to jinx anything. So there's going to be 2 more shows that will be announced this week. I was just seeing I I'm looking pretty laggy there. I don't know what's going on. So what I'm doing here is I am going to do this, because I don't know why I'm laggy. So yeah, Monday through Friday, and I hope the picture's better. Let me see, is it laggy? Brother, I'm glad you are back. I join my doctor hopefully soon. That's why I was. About the break-in. Yeah, you know, I hope I'm not that laggy on the stream, to be honest with you. If it is, I'll have that fixed by tomorrow. Yeah, man. There's a lot of things, Thomas, that I've been really silent about for the last year. I haven't even told. Nobody's even asked me. Hey, what happened with Ops Lines? Nobody's even asked me that, because I guarantee you what comes out of my mouth is going to be different than what the fuck was saying. So, why my leg is pissing me off? Damn it! I hate that shit. So, yeah, so Monday through Friday, the Rocci Stucci Show. 2 more shows are going to be announced here really soon, folks. There will be some guests. There'll be some jump-ins, some spot-ins. Yeah, it's a little choppy. I see that, Thomas. I will fix that, brother. I will have a new episode uploaded here, a copy of this episode, so people don't have to watch the leggy crap. But we'll get all that squared away. We'll get all that taken care of. But, yeah, man, I'm really excited. I appreciate you guys. I love you, man. And thanks for being here. Let me open this up. I'm bothered by the leggy stuff. So be here every morning. If you can't be here in the morning, you got all day to listen to the podcast and the video cast. But, ladies and gentlemen, man, who remembers this one? Oh, Becker. Remember this one? Yeah, he does. All right, I'm going to go fix my camera, folks. I love each and every one of you at the Rocci Stucci Show every Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock a.m., and the camera's pissing me off. Ladies and gentlemen, from my family to yours, I just want to say much love, much respect. And until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, may God bless you. And don't forget rule number 1, don't take shit from nobody. Good night.